Hi there, you are listening to the Guitar Speak podcast. My name is Matt Wakeling. This is the show that I produce here in Sydney, Australia. Talk to leading guitar players from all around the world. Thanks so much for joining me. This is episode number 158. And I welcome back my friend Scotty Burford. You might remember Scotty being on the show just after he smashed the world record for the world's longest guitar playing gig, some 125 hours, and he did that to raise money for a wonderful charity called Musicians Making a Difference. Well, Scotty is back on the job on the 5th of June 2021. He will be taking on the world record for the world's longest guitar lesson. And I think the existing record is about 24 hours, so he's looking to bump over that one. And in doing so, again, he's putting this towards a good cause, raising money for the Children's Hospital in Westmead in Sydney. And that's a fantastic organisation. In fact, there's a bit of a close relationship between myself and the Children's Hospital, and I share a little bit about that in the interview as well. Not only is Scotty a philanthropic human being, and a wonderful human being at that. He is a wonderful guitar player, super skilled at the fingerstyle stuff, a great electric player too, great improviser, and he's just an all-around champion, and it was really cool to catch up with him. This episode is brought to you by The Pedal Movie, a feature-length film all about effects pedals created by the music gear marketplace Reverb. I am super excited about this film. The Pedal Movie features nearly 100 interviews with people like Steve Vai, Peter Frampton, Jay Mascis, Billy Corgan, and more, including some of our Guitar Speak podcast alumni like Dweezil Zappa, Sarah Lipstate, Johnny Barmer, and Brian Wampler. Reverb's The Pedal Movie is available now on iTunes, Google Play, and Vudu. For more information, visit www.thepedalmovie.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Fretboard Biology, the comprehensive online guitar course put together by Joe Elliott. Now, Joe is not only a fantastic guitar player, he draws on his years of experience as the ex-head of guitar at the Guitar Institute of Technology and also at the McNally Smith Music College. Here's a few words from Joe about the course.
You're tired of wading through hundreds of random guitar videos and just want to become a better player. Fretboard Biology is your answer. Fretboard Biology is a self-paced, college-level program that'll give you the right instruction, in the right amounts, and in the right order. You'll learn the same information I taught to thousands of other guitar players over 30 years of teaching in top music colleges. If you want to make real progress with your guitar playing, then sign up for a free 7-day trial at fretboardbiology.com.
Yeah, absolutely. A big thanks to my sponsors, Reverb and Fretboard Biology. Any sponsorship money that this episode raises is going straight into the fundraising that Scotty is doing for the Children's Hospital. So, share the episode, whatever, get it out there, and all that money will go straight into the world record attempt, or the fundraising through the world record attempt coming up. All right, let's go to our conversation. Scotty Burford, welcome back to the Guitar Speak podcast.
Thank you very much for having me once again.
Mate, great to chat. It's always great to catch up with you, Scotty, whether it's doing a podcast or just having a chat. Mate, the reason though why we're talking here is that you have another world record crack on your hands coming up, and that's the world's longest guitar lesson.
That is correct.
That's awesome, man. I can't wait. I'm getting there for some of it, and
thank you.
Looking forward to it. What was the inspiration for this?
Oh, look, I've actually I've played in at Ronald McDonald House quite a few times, which is associated with the Sydney Children's Hospital.
Yeah, absolutely.
And look, we've talked about this before, but I think music is very, very, a number of things. It means many things to me, but I guess a big thing that I really see value in music is the power for it to bring about change and do good and bring healing to people.
Yeah.
In so many different ways. And playing in at the Sydney Children's Hospital at Ronald McDonald House for the kids that are being treated at the Sydney Children's Hospital has been really quite challenging, inspiring, humbling, upsetting. Whatever you want. You could almost say it covers a whole gamut of emotions.
Yeah, I bet.
And I think the first time I went in, I was invited in by a mate of mine named Glenn Murray,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes in there regularly and volunteers, and he asked me if I'd like to come in and play for the kids one night. So I went in on a Tuesday night, and it was really amazing. There were only maybe 15 or 20 kids and their families there.
Mm-hmm.
That were staying there. And I just remember being really struck by one little boy in particular. He was only about 8 years old, and he kept on asking me to sing Johnny Cash.
Uh-huh.
And the only Johnny Cash song that I really, really know is Johnny. Well, it's not even Johnny Cash. Is Hurt, the Nine Inch Nails cover.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, we'll see how we go. Let me think. Because I thought there's no way I'm going to sing Hurt in the hospital.
Right. Yes.
I've played stuff like Ring of Fire and all the usual cliched songs that cover bands do, but I didn't know the lyrics and I couldn't just pull them out off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So I kind of went, I've got no Hurt, and then I had to think, and I remembered that Johnny Cash had actually covered "Won't Back Down" by Tom Petty.
Oh, okay.
On one of his Americana albums.
Oh, awesome.
I went, I know this one. Johnny Cash actually recorded this on Americana 4 or whatever it was. I can't remember now, but and so that and the kid, I said, Johnny Cash did this on one of his albums. He was really happy with it, just because I said, Johnny Cash has done this one.
Yeah.
I had the loveliest boy, biggest smile on his face. Anyway, as I was leaving, the kids had to go off to bed. I was packing up. I left. I was talking to one of the doctors. And I said, this is a really amazing experience. Some of these kids are so upbeat. And he said that the boy that I'd just been talking to, he was just so incredibly positive, but they didn't expect that he was going to live much longer than another couple of weeks.
Oh, mate.
Because his body had just been destroyed by cancer.
Right.
And that's just horrific. So, I guess for me to, in a very small way, to give him a few laughs and I was trying to get him to sing on the microphone with me and everything and whatever.
Yeah.
That's a very small thing, but it's a good thing.
Yeah.
In the whole scheme of things. And to be honest, when I left that night, I drove around the corner from the hospital, hospital grounds. I pulled over and just burst into tears because I just thought, I can't believe that this poor little kid is going through that. And some of the other kids too, they're going through horrible things. And anyway, since then I've been back a few times, played for the kids in the hospital or in Ron McDonald House, and each time has been quite moving. And I think it's a privilege actually to play music with people like that and present it to them, and experience that with them in some ways, even though it's also very challenging for me to do that personally as well. I guess in a similar way, I do palliative care, music therapy for palliative care sometimes, and that's in another way, like actually playing at someone's bedside while they're in their final days is also very humbling and inspiring and challenging too. But yeah, with kids, it's just an older person. You kind of go, okay, we kind of expect. It's still very sad, but for a 7 or 8 year old kid to have that. Be in that position, I just go, this is horrific. So anyway, that's why I'm doing this thing. It's a fundraiser for the Sydney Children's Hospital.
Yeah,
and the work they do.
That is awesome. As long as I've known it, we met through the world's longest guitar gig.
Yes,
which was was that 2018?
Yeah, so 3 years ago now.
Yeah. We actually literally met when you were in between that. So I don't know if you remember meeting me, but I remember meeting you.
Oh, I do actually. You know
about
what?
3 days in.
So I have really vivid memories of you, and I really appreciated how gentle and understanding you were with me at that point in time, because I was a mess by then. I'd been up for almost 4 days, I think, by that stage.
Yeah, you'd been going for a while.
So that was the day my fingers split, and I was really struggling. And when you came in, and I know Michael Dolce and some of the other guys came in that night too, that really lifted me. And I remember sitting with you, and you just said, because you played with me for a bit. I remember you were so gentle and encouraging and supportive with that, and it was just a beautiful thing. So thank you very much.
Oh man, I loved it. I mean, the reason I bring it up is because how we met was you putting this event, and that was for Music Making a Difference, which is also a wonderful organisation which you've supported. But I mean, all throughout your playing, you are very people focused, and it's who you are, and your musicianship is added to that and expressed through some of these things. But I love it that you put your money where your mouth is. You know, a lot of people have good intentions, but you jump in there and try and make some things happen, which is awesome.
For that, like, I've been obsessed with the guitar since I was a little kid. Probably from watching, those Beatles cartoons that used to be on early morning.
Yeah.
When I was like 5 or 6 or whatever, I remember seeing those. And actually, I think probably the first rock musician I really loved was actually Paul McCartney.
Okay, yeah.
From the cartoons, not necessarily the Beatles per se, but from that Beatles cartoon. I didn't know that he actually played bass. I thought it was a guitar.
Sure.
When I was 5, but I think early on, I guess perhaps it is part of who I am anyway. But I've often thought that music has so many incredible aspects to it and properties to it, and can be such an incredible force for good. But I think from being a teenager, from an early teenager, I started thinking, what could I do with music to benefit everyone? And I think that's how music works best.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Whether it's, look, not just for charity stuff, but, playing at weddings or even playing pub gigs where everyone's up dancing and singing and there's just this great community.
Yep, absolutely.
I think that's wonderful. Or having people, people be moved or touched or laugh or cry or whatever. Just the way it touches people. I think that's a big driving component of, I think, why I still play.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, the kids hospital, fun fact. Well, not that fun. I spent a lot of time at the children's hospital way back in the 70s, when it was at Camperdown, so before it moved out to Westmead.
Okay.
And way before Ronald McDonald House. But yeah, I was a very crook little kid too with cancer and had some pretty major operations. Really? Yeah, so I don't remember a lot of it because I was like 4 and 5 and I think 3. I don't know, it was around that time. And I had a kidney removed and a bit of lung taken out.
Wow.
Sort of grew back. It was pretty heavy duty, but for me, I don't remember a lot of it. I just remember being beautifully taken care of by the staff and doctors there. And as I've grown up, I realised it must have been incredibly tough on my parents. But for me as a little kid, I just remember being, all this beautiful care and concern. So, a little tiny connection to what you're doing. So I'm totally on board. And when you mentioned Ronald McDonald House, I've had friends who really firsthand through sick little kids as well have seen just the wonderful stuff that Ronald McDonald does. So it really adds a different dimension to that drive-through donation box, and McHappy Day and all that stuff. They're actually
it does
doing some amazing stuff.
I think what happens with Ronald McDonald House and the staff there and the medical staff and the other staff and everything, I've just been so impressed by the care.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a lot of love shown by the staff there to the kids, and to their parents as well, from what I've seen. Yeah. I think those people are true heroes, really. That work in that sort of setting.
I hope you are enjoying today's interview. Now, this podcast is brought to you by The Pedal Movie, a feature-length film all about effects pedals created by the music gear marketplace Reverb. Now, we love guitar pedals here on the Guitar Speak podcast, and we're super excited on the release of this film. The Pedal Movie explores how effects pedals and their builders have shaped modern music and guitar playing over time, from the fuzz pedal experiments of the Rolling Stones and Jimi Hendrix through the shoegaze and indie rock of the 90s and up to the modern day use of effects. Reverb also speaks with builders and leaders from more than 50 pedal brands to answer the big question, how did guitar pedals get so big? Reverb's The Pedal Movie is available now on iTunes, Google Play and Voodoo. For more info, check out thepedalmovie.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Fretboard Biology, the comprehensive online guitar course put together by master guitar teacher Joe Elliott. Now, I was a beta tester for the course, and as a music educator myself, I was very impressed by the logical layout and format of the course. Heavyweight guitarists such as Brett Garsed and Greg Koch have also endorsed the program, so check it out at www.fretboardbiology.com. Okay, back to our interview. Hey, so on to the lesson then, which is raising money for the hospital.
Yes.
Man, how does it work? How long are you going for? What are the logistics? Where is it happening? All that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, I'll start with where it's happening. It's actually happening at Heart and Soul Yoga Studio, which is located in Cronulla at the end of the mall. I've got use of the yoga studio for about 26 or 27 hours, which is wonderful. They've look, very, very supportive of this, and it's very good thing. I'm starting this Saturday at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And all things going well, I will finish on Sunday at 1 p.m.
Okay, cool.
So the current record is 24 hours and 6 minutes, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So I thought I'll try and go for 25. That's the goal.
It's a nice round number. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so good. And what kind of stuff are you teaching? How does it
Okay, well what I'm going to do is I'm entitled to a break. So with world record, what they deem ultra marathons, for every 60 minutes that you perform the activity, you're entitled to a 5-minute break.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Excuse me. So what I've done, I'm not planning on sleeping or anything with this or whatever.
Yeah.
I've actually got it that I'll teach in 2-hour blocks.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'll have a 10-minute break, and people can come and go. Anyone that's participating in the, any of the students that will be there, I've asked them to commit a minimum of 2 hours.
Yep.
So they stay for the block and then leave, in the changeover time. And if anyone does, there's still spaces available as well. But if anyone wants to get on board, I'm asking people to arrive 15 minutes before I start the next session.
Right. Gotcha. Yep.
Just make it easier.
Yeah, sure.
With that. What I'll be doing is most of the sessions will actually be pulling apart a lot of Australian songs.
Yeah, great.
So what I've done is just gone through a bunch of classic Oz rock artists, really, and I've picked out some songs from them. And so I've tried to make all the lessons relevant to someone of any stage of player, of playing ability. So there'll be something for absolute beginners. If someone's never played guitar before and they want to come along, especially the Pete Murray session that I'm doing.
Yeah, nice.
That'd be great for them. That's the first one I'm doing. We're going to have an introduction. It'll be some of that stuff is sort of introductory guitar playing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But I'm then going to go much further and say, well, how else could we pull this song apart? What else could we do with it? So if you're a beginner, you'll get something from it. If you're an advanced player, you're still going to learn something from it. So we'll look at how to, substitute chords, extend chords, different chord voicings we could use, how two guitars could play together over a track, and then in terms of that sort of thing. So I've got a template that I've put together, which is a bunch of ideas that you could throw at a song and go, well, I could do this. If I'm not just playing the basic chord structure or whatever. So, playing in a band and go, oh, one guitar's already playing those parts. What could I do? We'll go through a number of options of how a player could approach adding to that. And then we'll also talk about, how to solo over it, because that's where the fun stuff is, really, isn't it? I think.
Sure.
No, I'm not just soloing, but yeah. Well, and we'll break that down. So we'll look at, for some songs we'll look at some of the really, the classic licks that are in them and things like that. But it'll be more looking at, well, how could we approach soloing over this, and what are the different approaches we can use? So looking at, scales or modes, different pentatonic scales, arpeggios, how we could, superimpose one arpeggio over the top of a chord to get an extension or whatever, all that sort of thing, so we can completely change the mood or colour of our improvisation. So, that's how I'll be approaching each of the sessions when we're actually looking at songs.
Yeah.
There's also going to be two workshops. One on fingerstyle, which is one of my great loves with playing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have said to me, how do you do the thing where your thumb's playing a bass line while you're playing, chords and melody over the top? That's probably the thing I get asked about the most, to be honest, with playing.
Okay.
Or the most common comment I get from people that have heard my videos on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, or seen me play is, if they're players, I've tried to play fingerstyle, I just get really confused. I don't understand it. So we'll have a look at that. We'll look at fingers, an introduction to fingerstyle. Once again, I'll try to cover something for everyone in that, from some simple sort of patterns to get your fingers moving, through to looking at how to start doing some improvisation against, probably in a blues, like acoustic blues setting. With setting up a bass line with your thumb and then starting to play some stuff over the top. We might, depending on how we're going for time with all that, we might talk a little bit about one of my very favourite things, which is the whole Chet Atkins cascading harmonics thing.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah.
Which I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I love doing that. I actually don't really play that stuff much I don't really do fingerstyle gigs anymore, to be honest. They don't really exist like they used to.
Right.
So I've been popping them out when I've been going busking, some of those things, but yeah. Anyway, so that's what I'll be doing with that, and then the other workshop is actually just focusing on improvisation, because that's probably my other great love with playing.
Yeah, cool.
And talking about how to get into soloing, but then also going further from that. Not just an introduction to it, but looking at just giving whoever's there a whole lot of information that they can go off with and start to think, how can I apply this? How can I apply that? And there'll be quite a bit of stuff that, they might take several months to work through. With all the lessons, I'm actually going to have lesson notes available for everything.
Oh, cool.
So that people can take stuff away too. And in fact, I'm under a bit of a deadline, but I want to have everything actually uploaded into a Dropbox file for everyone by Friday.
Okay. Yeah. That's a great.
So whoever's participating can get hold of it, and yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. I've got a gig Saturday night in not too far away. I'm at St. George Motorboat Club or something like that.
Okay.
Just down the road ish. So I'm booked in for the 1 a.m. spot, and I can't wait. It's the Mondo Rock, the Eric McCusker stuff. My only regret is that I'm going to get some Eric McCusker licks under my fingers after my gig, so I'll just have to keep working on them till the next gig, so till the next weekend. But
I'm sure you'll be fine.
I'm looking forward to it, man. That'll be fun.
Oh no, it's great. And look, thank you. I really appreciate the fact you're coming along. Then that'll be really good.
It's good fun, good adventure. Hey, how can people, if they're in Sydney, how can they come along? And perhaps if people are outside of Sydney, how could they still support what you're doing here, Scotty?
Okay, great. Well, the easiest thing is probably to go to my website, which is greatscottmusic.com.au. So just think of the future.
Yes, nice.
With a name for that. Yeah. And on the front page, I've got a link through to information about the event, and then also how to register for sessions. At the moment, I was going to do this last year, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah.
And then last year happened, as we all know.
Yes.
So that put big dents in the plan. I tried doing it 3 or 4 times last year, and every time I thought, maybe we've got a chance. Things were shut down again or whatever.
Yeah.
So it just became too hard. try and plan. So, look, at the moment, I mean, I don't actually have enough people. I've had a number of people pull out, so I don't have enough people to actually beat Guinness's record.
Okay.
With what they've stipulated. That's okay. I'm still going to do it anyway. I mean, I've already raised about $1,000 for the hospital, so I can't really back out now.
Yeah.
And that's the main point.
Which in itself is awesome, man. In itself is amazing. But obviously it'd be great to get some more people down there.
Oh, look, I'd love that. If it happens, it happens. If not, that's okay. Like, the primary focus is really about, raising money for Sydney Children's Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And look, promoting guitar. I think guitar's a great thing.
Of course.
So get more people playing guitar or playing guitar a bit better. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Anyway, if people are interested in coming along for the sessions, that's one thing they can do. If people would like to donate, there's actually also a link from my website. I've got a fundraising page that's managed by Sydney Children's Hospital themselves.
Oh, excellent. Great.
So people can go there. That's probably the easiest way to find it. There's also some stuff on Facebook. There's if people type in Scotty B teaches the world's longest guitar lesson, there's a group, and there's also an event page for both of those things. So they could find it from there.
Cool.
But I can send you some links as well.
And I'll add those to the show notes. So anyone listening to this can just look up the notes and follow that way as well. So.
Excellent.
Awesome,
so that's how that's going to work. If people want to find that, I'm also hoping to try and live stream the entire event on Facebook.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, got plenty of data on my phone.
Nice.
So
nice.
That's the plan. To live stream the entire thing to Facebook. So people from anywhere can follow along, and I will try, if people are trying to, get involved from wherever they are around the world, I will try and answer any questions as they pop up as I see them.
Oh yeah, cool, excellent.
Yeah. I'd like it. As much as I've said, obviously the focus is raising money for the kids. I would like this to be a pretty, if people are wanting to learn something from it, I'd really like to make it really good opportunity for them to get something decent.
Yeah, sure.
From that as well.
Yep.
So, that's how people can be involved.
Awesome, man. That's so cool. That's cool. Well, Scotty, man, thank you for coming on and talking us through it. I can't wait to see it on Saturday or the wee hours of Sunday. And
yes.
Yeah, folks,
thank you very much
down there.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing you. It'd be great. And thanks very much for supporting this.
Oh, pleasure.
And supporting the other stuff too. So
yeah, cool, man. Of course, mate. You're a community builder and just an encourager of people in general, and you put it into action. So I love that, Scotty. You're totally inspiring, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, there you go. Hope you enjoyed today's conversation. Now, this podcast was brought to you by The Pedal Movie, the feature-length film all about effects pedals created by Reverb. Reverb's The Pedal Movie is available now on iTunes, Google Play and Vudu. For more information, visit thepedalmovie.com. The show was also brought to you by Fretboard Biology, the comprehensive online guitar course put together by ex-head of guitar at GIT, Joe Elliott. Check out fretboardbiology.com for more information. Alrighty then, you have been listening to the Guitar Speak podcast. My name is Matt Wakeling, and as the legendary German rocker Michael Schenker once told me,
keep rocking, keep on rocking.
Keep on rocking indeed. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. Bye now.